Buying a new mountain bike is really exciting, but with so many different disciplines out there and different types of bike, it can be a choice that you could get wrong.
We've worked in bike shops, we've been pro racers, we've been mechanics. So with all that experience, we are going to give you guys a few more tips.
So this is 5 tips on buying a new bike. So the first consideration is the sort of riding you're going to do, and that often comes down to where you live and the type of riding you find fun. There's all different types of mountain bikes, going from the hardtail that can probably do everything quite well, to cross-country bikes, to all sorts of different full suspension bikes and downhill bikes at the very longest travel end. I come from a downhill background. Where I live, there's no big mountains or chairlifts, so this is my bike. It's 160mm travel. I like going downhills fast, but I need to pedal to the top, so this works brilliantly for doing that. Now, I am very lucky and I've got a few different bikes that suit different disciplines, but I guess most people aren't that lucky, so it's really trying to think about the type of bike you want that's going to suit you the best. Also, there are places where you can test out bikes or demo them to try and see if that bike suits you.
Now, let me tell you guys that mountain biking is not a cheap sport to get into. And in fact, it can become really addictive because you actually start to want to upgrade components in your bike and make it the best you possibly can. But when you do walk into that bike shop, make sure that you have a budget in mind and you try and stick to it. If possible, even think about having some money left over so you can get things like a helmet, you can get some spares for your bike, things like tires and inner tubes. You also want to think about getting some cycling specific clothing and perhaps even some protection. At a later date, once you're really into the sport, that's when you can start to think about upgrading your bike and perhaps even getting a better model.
Number 3, making sure you buy the right size bike. Now, just like buying clothes, the best way to actually get the right size is to try that bike out. And that might be possible if you're buying your bike from a shop, but many people these days are buying their bikes online. So now might be the time to get out your tape measure. Check out the manufacturer's website, and on there should be some detailed specs and geometries. So measure up your old bike or a friend's bike that you know fits and compare them to their website and make sure you buy the right size bike.
If you're new to the sport and don't know too much about mountain biking, then you've probably come to the right place because you have found GMBN. When you're looking for a bike, make sure you take some advice. You could go down to your local mountain bike shop, you could go and ask a friend who already rides, or you could have some questions for us. We do a weekly show called Ask GMBN where we answer all you guys' questions. You leave them in the comments of videos and we pick the very best ones. And this is where you're going to find out if you're getting the right bike for you.
So you've decided the bike you want to buy, you've considered your budget, now it's time to actually buy it. It's often cheaper to actually buy a complete bike than go down the custom route of buying a frame and then buying all the bits. But even when you buy a complete bike, there still are some options. Sometimes you get the option of having a better frame but with cheaper components for the same price as a cheaper frame and better components. Personally, I would always go for the first one, so a better frame and cheaper components, because everything else is going to wear out quicker than your frame. So when it comes time to replace those bits, that might be the time to upgrade them and end up with a nicer bike.
So there you go, there's our top 5 tips for buying a new bike. And if you think that we've missed anything or you have some questions, then why not leave it in the comment section down below and we'll get back to you and answer you guys and help you out.
Well, thanks very much. I think I'll take it.
Oh, great.
Click over here to subscribe to GMBN and click down here for which bike for which discipline.
And if you click right here, you're going to get to how to buy a cross-country bike.
Give us a thumbs up if you want a new bike.
Yeah, defo.